Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there. So guess what's going on? Breaking news. This is from Jackson the Hare. Europe moves toward full collapse, losing all Russian gas supplies. Russia cuts off all gas supplies to Europe via Ukraine.
Whoa.
Wait, they hadn't already?
No, apparently not.
What? What?
Wait, so this guy, Zelensky says, when Putin was presented with the Russian presidency more than 25 years ago, the annual gas transit through Ukraine to Europe totaled more than 130 billion cubic meters. Today, it equals zero. This is one of Moscow's biggest defeats.
Wow.
Yeah, Jackson the
Is there
Hare.
great clean trains?
Jackson says, you are delusional. Ukraine will lose billions without gas transit, you knucklehead. Most of the European Union will lose cheap energy and will be forced into buying expensive alternatives. Russia's European Union allies will still get cheap natural gas. Russia has placed European Union gas markets with trustworthy new partners. So just in case you know, that was what the Nord Stream pipeline was for. So they used to send all their gas through Ukraine, and then they'd have to pay a tax to Ukraine would take their skim off the top, and it would go to Europe. So then they built the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines to take it right from Russia right to Germany. So we blew that up to try to put an economic hurt on Russia. But what it did was put an economic hurt on Germany and Europe, and now they're paying 2, 3, and 4 times the price for energy than they would have been. And now Russia's cutting it off, the rest of it that goes through Ukraine. And so now they're going to have to buy it from places like the United States when we ship our liquefied natural gas over there and charge 2, 3, and 4 times the price. So that's
freedom fuel, they called it.
This is it's by Dave DeCamp. Yeah, freedom fuel. Yes.
Liquid freedom.
Russia gas flows to Europe through Ukraine ends as deal expires. Slovakia is threatening to cut power to Ukraine for not extending the deal. So do you understand? This Ukraine is like your drug addict cousin who always has another brilliant money-making scheme. Yeah, man, we're going to cut the gas deal with Russia and then see how they enjoy missing out on that sweet Ukrainian cash. So do we get our money back somehow? How do we get our money?
Rob Schneider did the joke about Zelensky's got to go to rehab because he always wears the same shirt. And, he's got all these grandiose plans. He's going to defeat Russia.
So Russian gas deliveries to Europe through Ukraine pipeline will end on January 1st, which is yesterday, as a 5-year agreement signed in 2019 expired at the end of 2024. Russia gas continued to flow through the Soviet-era Urengoy-Pomeri-Yuzhgorod pipeline following the Russian invasion of Ukraine under a deal signed between Russia's Gazprom and Ukraine's Naftogaz, both state-run gas companies. So they're still doing business with each other through the whole war to transfer energy.
Seymour Hersh told us that.
Yes.
And I thought it was bizarre back then.
The Russian news agency TASS reported there were no orders for gas to be pumped through the pipeline on January 1st and said that meant the chances of a last-minute deal to keep the gas flowing were slim. Ukraine chose not to renew the agreement, a step that angered Slovakia, which receives Russian gas through the Ukrainian pipeline. From Slovakia, the pipeline split and took gas to Austria and then the Czech Republic. Slovakia's Prime Minister, Robert Fico, now you remember, he's the guy who got shot in the head after he said that they should end the war in Ukraine and they should investigate the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. Then he got shot in the head. Didn't kill him. And here he is, Slovakia's Prime Minister, Robert Fico, and I wonder what his FICO score is. An opponent on NATO's proxy war in Ukraine. He's an opponent of the Ukraine war, had warned Slovakia could take reciprocal measures in response to Ukraine not renewing the deal. He said those measures could include cutting electricity exports to Ukraine. So Slovakia exports electricity to Ukraine, and he says, right, we're going to cut those off. In comments to Political, Ukrainian Energy Minister Germain Galushenko dismissed Fico's threat, saying, "I don't think they would do this." If Slovakia does cut electricity to Ukraine, Poland has said it could boost power production. According to Reuters, Slovakia is not expected to face gas shortages and could make up for what it loses through the pipeline by importing more from Hungary, Poland, and Austria. U.S. announces $5.9 billion in military and budget aid to Ukraine. That's what President Biden just did that, announced $5 million in military and budget aid to Ukraine. Then he said he's going to be sending several billion more to the woodpecker outside his window to help with his home building efforts.
And the rest goes to ice cream.
Alternative News says Ukraine cancels gas transfers to Europe. Russia has officially ceased gas transit for Ukraine as of 8 a.m. The damage to Gazprom is small, but the damage to Slovakia and Hungary is large. That is likely the reason why the United States planned to punish these two countries as they refuse to buy United States liquid natural gas. That's why. So this is all, there's always a story behind it.
Yeah. Buy our liquid freedom.
Buy our liquid freedom. If not, we're going to cut your gas off. And that's what they're doing. Freedom. Ukraine also suffers bigly as they lose billions of dollars per year. They don't need that money, they say. The U.S. delivers that bounty. So we just give them that money. The United States strategy is clear. As long as Hungary and Slovakia are punished, all is well. So now you know the rest of the story. So that's what this. So why did all of a sudden they decide to cancel that? Through the whole war, Russia's been shipping gas through Ukraine, sending it to Slovakia and Hungary. Well, now Slovakia and Hungary are trying to be autonomous and not do exactly as the United States says. And they're not buying United States liquefied natural gas. And that this is the U.S. go. We'll show. So this is why people want to get off the dollar. Because we wept. This is how the United States is like the mafia.
Yeah,
it's a nice economy you got. Be something bad if something happened to your energy. Be a shame.
You think the guy took it personally when we shot him in the head? Because I promise you that was America.
That's of course.
I promise you that was a NATO coalition
That was a
operation.
NATO that shot him in the head. No doubt about it. Because he said we should end that war in Ukraine, and he didn't want to give any money to it, and he wanted to investigate the vaccine.
I made a bad joke at the time. I go, "Oh, this guy wants to get shot," and then not 2-3 months later,
there he is. Got shot. So, according to Jackson the Hare, he says that Europe is moving towards a full collapse. They're already in bad shape.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're already in.
They look like how Russia used to look.
Yes.
Since we strengthened. By the way, remember they said Russia blew up their own pipeline?
Yeah.
When you're like, so now Russia finally turns off the gas themselves. And it's a real disaster. Why would they have done that?
Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there.